All right, so good morning. I've been taking this course from Alan Moore called BBC Maestro. It's super awesome. Man, he's just killing it. I love Alan Moore and definitely recommend this course. For those of you who don't know, Alan Moore is one of the most interesting writers of our time. He wrote a bunch of really prominent comic books like Watchmen, V for Vendetta, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Those are the ones that most people are likely to know. He was very influenced by H.P. Lovecraft, and I've followed him a lot and love everything he has to say. One of the things he was talking about is maybe you're a mythological being and you're in a mythological journey. What that made me automatically think of was the journey of the Tarot. Joseph Campbell has this hero's journey. But what is the hero's journey? Well, it's a story that goes way back to ancient Egypt where the Tarot was invented. And this is the archetypal story of our lives. So the journey starts with the Fool. This is from the Thoth deck, one of my favorite decks of all. The Fool is kind of the newbie. He's just about to start his journey. He's taking this leap of faith. As you can see, the character is jumping into space. He's taking this leap of faith. He's very positive and kind of naive about the world, right? Well, the Fool is going to be initiated into the path by the Magus, or the magician. The magician is going to introduce him to this mythological journey that he's going to go on. From there, he's going to meet, the important people of life. He's going to meet the Empress. This is a woman who has, a lot of power. She's very accomplished in the realms of physical, material world, right? Then, of course, there's the king, the emperor, who's in charge of stuff, and he rules the material world. He's going to meet his spiritual advisor, the Hierophant, or the high priest, and the high priestess, and they're going to give him some advice, tell him about the world, the journey he's going to go on. And as he goes through this journey and he meets different characters, and he's going to come to the Hanged Man. Now, the Hanged Man, this is kind of this moment of, holy crap, what am I doing here? What's the point of all this? And how can I bring something back to the world? You see these patterns throughout lots of mythology. For example, Odin hangs himself upside down from Yggdrasil, the world tree, and proceeds to torture himself for quite a few days. He jabs himself in the side with a spear, and his blood drips out into the stream, and that becomes the Futhark runes, which are the origins of the written word. The Futhark runes, by the way, super interesting. You do know them because you've watched Lord of the Rings more than likely. The Futhark runes became the English alphabet. The Elder Futhark became the Anglo-Saxon Futhark, which is what our alphabet is based on. For example, this is the letter F. This is U. Answers became A, and each one of these has a meaning unto itself, but that's a topic for another time. The point being is the Hanged Man gives birth to something that's important. Okay, he's got a seed inside of him But he's got to go through this ego death. So it's a kind of a death of self, a death of your identity, a death of who you think you are. You got to go through some serious trial and tribulation to figure out, what you're made of. This is what the hero has to do if the hero is going to alchemically synthesize his lessons, and he's going to change his lead into gold. And this is not turning actual lead into gold. This is turning your inner base kind of negative attributes into something higher, right? Like from sloth to discipline, for example. So it's the transformation of self into a higher state, something that you can then take and turn into a gift, which you're going to bring back to the community. And that's what the sun is. The sun is this like, hey, everybody, I got something to share with you. I went through this really difficult time, and now I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm going to tell you what I learned so that you don't make the same mistakes I did. Your job as a writer is to show the transformation of character throughout the hero's journey. I hope you enjoyed this little brief live stream. If you like what I'm saying and what I talked about, hit the subscribe button, or at least give me a like. I hope I made this worth your time. That I just want to toss out there about the Fool, that's kind of an interesting idea, is that the Fool is the most powerful card of all, because the Fool can become anything else. It will be transformed into the Emperor, Empress, the Hierophant, the Magician.